It did not cure all the way. I was able to file these two fine, but this one is a no.
This is the intro to Long Hair Pretty Nail Show, yeah.
Give it up for the notification squad. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want a chance to be featured, make sure you hit that notification bell and come show your girl some love when I drop a new video.
Hey y'all, what's up and welcome back. You guys know that I have tried so many polygels, so many colors, and everybody kind of has a polygel kit out now. But I want to see if I can make some DIY polygel. That's right, polygel at home, and we're gonna see if we can do it. Okay, so I have this big old container of builder gel, and this is just clear builder gel, and I got this from Aliexpress, and I am gonna try to mix gel and acrylic powder, makes the polygel. So instead of a regular acrylic, I'm gonna use the dip powder because it is super fine, like it's not as gritty as the typical regular acrylic, and so I'm gonna try that to see if I can get a smooth polygel. So let's see how this goes. All right, so I'm just gonna scoop out a good amount of the gel. Don't really know about the ratios here. I'm just kind of going by how I feel. And I'm just gonna take some of the dip powder and mix that with it. And give that a mix. All right, so this isn't thick enough. So we're gonna add some more of the clear dip powder or acrylic, because dip powder is acrylic. For those who don't know, it is just a finer powder. All right, so that is actually starting to clump up pretty well. What I'm hoping for is to get a nice clear polygel out of this. Like, it's still super soft. All right, I think I'm gonna need some more powder. This isn't very clear. It is so not working. Okay, maybe I just need to just keep adding powder until it thickens up. Just pile it on there. All right, it's like now you gotta really push it. It's thick. And it doesn't look like it's going to be clear. Let me test a bit out on a nail tip. All right, so just scoop some on there. Okay, I'm able to pat it and it's not sticking to the brush, but it's not clear. It turns into this kind of milky color here. But as you guys can see, it's behaving like polygel. Well, besides it kind of crumbling apart right there. When you kind of look really, really close, you can kind of see the powder or the grain in it, but I was really hoping for it to be clear. So for my nail design, I'm gonna try to create some different color polygels, but clear won't be one of them. This is not as clear as I need it. All right, so for my nail design, I'm gonna use these 3 colors of dip powders. Well, these 2 are dip powders and this is just glitter. So I'm going to create some polygels with these and hopefully this works out. will say that the mixing takes forever. Only if I needed a special color would I do this, because it is just so much easier to just go buy Polygel. All right, I think this one is finally ready. I am just making sure that it's gonna pat. All right. Okay, so that color is done. And I'm just gonna repeat the same thing I did for this for all the other colors.
Many minutes later.
This takes a lot of acrylic, a lot. All right, so this one is maybe a little too dry. I'm just gonna make sure I mix all of the powder well. I think this is just a tad bit too dry, so I need to add just a little bit of gel. All right, I think I'll just have to work with this. All right, and since this clear was not clear, I am just going to add the glitter to this clear polygel mixture. This is so pretty. This glitter is from Kiara Sky, and this is from their new Sprinkle On collection. To die for. Okay, this is easy enough. All right, so now I have my 3 color polygels that I am going to use for my nail design. And this was the first one that I made, and I'm seeing that it is, I guess it kind of settles a bit, but it is still polygel texture. But it seems like the powder, I guess, is really absorbed into the gel more so than this one. So I think if you kind of mix it all up and let it kind of hang out for a second before you start your nails, it may look better. So the green wasn't really my favorite. Oh, see, I'm getting I'm getting pink all in here. But yeah, that one kind of wasn't my favorite, but I think I'm gonna let it sit and see how I like it. But yeah, to the nails. So these are my natural nails. I've already prepped and filed them, and now I'm gonna glue on my nail tips. And I'm gonna use the Kiss Brush On Nail Glue. All right, so once all of the nail tips are on, I'm just gonna lightly buff the surface so the polygel can stick to it, and then also shape my tip. All right, so this is after I have filed and shaped the nail tips, and now I am going to apply dehydrator and primer. This is the dehydrator, and this is the primer. A lot of people ask me if these are absolutely necessary, and I say yes. Especially for me, I'm oily, so I have to make sure my nails are completely dehydrated. Otherwise, I can experience lifting and stuff. So if you are prone to lifting, yes, you need to invest in a dehydrator and a primer. Because if these are cute, I would like to wear these longer than a few days. And sometimes I apply base coat before I do polygel, and then sometimes I don't. So it just really depends on what I'm feeling. I don't really feel like dealing with the base coat today, so we're just going to do the dehydrator and the primer, and I should get some pretty good hold. I'm gonna start off with the pink polygel that I made, and we're just gonna put it right down here. That is bright. All right, and I just dip my brush in a tiny bit of alcohol, and we are just going to pat this in place, and it's working. Oh, I actually like this texture of polygel. It is really nice to work with. Now the color is bleeding some, so just be careful with that if you do try this. Like if you wet your brush too much and then your cuticles flooded, it can stain, so just be careful with that. This is so cool. I made my own polygel. Okay, so this is gonna take a little bit of time to pat, but for the most part, I really like it. All right, so after finally getting this smoothed out the way that I like, I'm gonna go ahead and cure this in my nail lamp. I'm a little nervous. I hope this doesn't burn. Okay, it doesn't burn at all. So I'm actually gonna let this cure for about 60 seconds. All right, so I actually had to cure it for 2 minutes because after 1, it wasn't all the way dry. So looks like with 2 minutes that it does cure pretty solid. And it looks like polygel to me. All right, so I am just going to go ahead and continue with the nail design. So when I mix the glitter in with this clear one that I tried to make, I mean, it may still work, but it's like stiffer, a little bit of dryness. But I guess it's better than being super sticky like some of the polygels are. Looks like that is a little too much. But that glitter is gorgeous. I'll be sure to leave links to everything that I use down below. And for the Kiara Sky stuff, I have a coupon code to save y'all some coins. Yeah, it's like I'm really having to push this one. All right, so I like the shape of this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and cure this in my nail lamp for 60 seconds. No, for 2 minutes. I believe this one's gonna need 2 minutes because all of this homemade polygel is pretty thick, but that is cute. All right, so for the middle finger, I'm gonna go in with the green, and this is really thick. Let's see if it would just behave. I really wanna get the cuticle area as flush as possible, and also want to make sure it has enough pigment. Like I don't like any gaps or anything. All right, so this is after all of the polygel is laid and I went ahead and cured. Now I did notice a little bit of issue with the green. It must be like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to show y'all, but it's like, it's squishy. Y'all see that? So yeah, I must have not had enough gel, so the ratio kind of has to be right. But it was only with this nail, well, the green color. So I probably can't do too much filing, or that might just, but the rest of them are really hard. I think it's best if you are gonna try this to not make it too dry, because the green was a little dry. I should have added some more gel to it, but I didn't. But we just gonna go ahead, and just for reference, I wanna show you guys what both of the gels look like. So as you guys can see with the pink, it's not necessarily like harder. Like it's still, you know, thick. It just has like this smooth gloss type finish. Whereas the green is just not as moist. I really gotta jam in it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you are gonna do this, you know, don't make it this dry. It shouldn't be that dry, or it's not gonna work. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just do some light shaping and filing. These are, you know, I did them kind of thin, so I didn't want them too thick. And I took my time with the patting and pulling all of the polygel around so I wouldn't have to do too much filing. They look pretty much good. I just need to clean up the sides. And when I work with polygel, I pretty much hand file because polygel is so soft. It is easier to over file the polygel. So I just kind of stick to a hand file, and you really don't need that much if you take your time while you're applying it. And we're just gonna smooth out the surface. All right, so while I was filing, this is what happened to the green.
Bruh.
It did not cure all the way. I was able to file these two fine, but this one is a no. So what I'm gonna do is peel this off, because obviously it's just gonna peel off. And then I'll just mix some more gel with what I have and try to make a better consistency. All right, so what it looks like happened is that it was just the center that didn't cure well, because like there was like an outer shell, and then in the center it was gummy, and then now this is like hard. Some of it is like a very light layer of it comes off, but I think because I do flip my fingers over when I cure, and then also that the tip is clear, that it was able to get in there. The nail lamp light was able to really get in there and cure that. So this section is cured. So I'm just going to clean my nail as good as I can get it, reapply the dehydrator and primer, and then I'm just gonna slap some more green on top. All right, so this is after I have file shaped and buffed the nails, and they look pretty darn good. All right, so it is bling time. And I'm going to use the same builder gel I used in my trusty Poochie's Nails Super Shine Gel Top Coat. All right, so I am just going to add the bling onto the middle finger because I just want a tiny bit of spice, not too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the clear builder gel to the entire nail. I'm mainly putting the crystals in the center, so kind of just want that to do its thing. And then I'm gonna go over that with the top coat. And I kind of just float it because I don't want to mix it onto the brush before I put it back into the bottle. And of course, wipe that brush off. I usually like to use the bling gel for this, but I have no clue what I did with it, so that is why I'm using clear builder gel to adhere my crystals. You just gotta move kind of fast because it does kind of droop. As long as it's not on your cuticle, you'll be all right. Okay, so I didn't like that placement, so I went ahead and took everything off, and I think I'm just gonna stick to the cuticle crystals. I felt like the chunkier ones was just a little overpowering. That's the beauty of doing your own nails. You can change your mind whenever you want to. All right, so this is after curing, and now I'm just gonna apply the top coat. And I do my final cure and the nail lamp for 60 seconds. And this is the finished look. These colors are gorgeous. As you guys can see, it is possible to make your own DIY polygel at home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in the next one.
This is the outro to the Long Hair Pretty Nail Show. Yeah.